There are several ways by which an attacker could enumerate or exploit resources within an AWS environment. So in this video, we'll be exploring ways by which these attackers can manually enumerate these resources and exploit them within AWS. But after that, we'll also look at ways by which they can use tools to automate the enumeration and exploitation process of these AWS environments. Let's get right to the video. In this directory that I'm in, if we do an ls, we see that we have Tomas notes, Tomas secrets keys, and a readme file. Within Tomas secret keys, we're actually able to get Tomas access key ID and secret access key to compromise his AWS account, which we'll be using to further exploit this environment. This is one of the first things you would do as part of these labs, but we'll not go into that in this video. What we actually care about is looking into Tomas notes for some hints. So if we go into Tomas notes, we see some hints here about checking if his elastic block storage snapshot is ready. This was part of a git commit, and this gives us an idea as to what access Tomas might have within the environment. So let's go back to our terminal here. I've already used Tomas's access key ID and secret access key. I've already set up programmatic access to AWS using the stolen access key ID and secret access key that we got from Tomas. And the first thing we'll do is the holy grail of AWS enumeration, which is an AWS STS get caller identity. This is basically us asking AWS to tell us who we are. It's basically an who am I, but within AWS. We're essentially trying to know who we have access to using these keys. And here we see that it's a user called Tomas. Now, since we have a hint that Tomas is trying to check his elastic block storage snapshot, let's do some EBS enumeration. Now, EBS is part of the EC2 service, so we'll be using the EC2 command to look at the snapshots that exist within this environment. The first thing we'll do is do an EC2 describe snapshots, and we'll specify the region to be US East 1 and the owner ID, which is basically the AWS account ID. Looks like I had a typo there, so let me fix that. Now, we see that Tomas does not have the ability to enumerate snapshots within US East 1. Well, there's no harm in trying US East 2, so let's do that. Alright, now we see that we have access to this snapshot within US East 2. This is a snapshot called Tomas sysadmin EBS snapshot, and we have the different details about this snapshot. Well, now you might think we're done, but everything we've done so far is pretty manual. How about we try to do this in an automated fashion? In this case, we can try using a tool like Pacu. Pacu is an open source AWS exploitation framework designed for offensive security testing against cloud environments. It was created and is being maintained by Rhino Security Labs, and it allows penetration testers to exploit configuration flaws within an AWS account, using modules to easily expand its functionality. Its current modules enable a range of attacks including privilege escalation, backdooring IAM users, attacking vulnerable Lambda functions, and much more. Now, let's try to use Pacu to enumerate the EBS snapshots within this AWS environment. We'll navigate into our desktop directory, into the tools folder, and then Pacu. Let's look at what is within the Pacu directory. Well, there are multiple files here, but the one we really care about is the CLI.py file. Let's go ahead and run this Python script. We're greeted with this nice ASCII art of the Pacu logo. Well, that's not what we're here for. Let's go ahead and begin our EBS enumeration. Well, first, we have to import the current keys we have within our environment. So we'll do this by running the import keys tag all command, and this will essentially import the current access keys we have, which we essentially store from Tomas. Well, in this case, I actually do have an existing session, so I'll go ahead and choose that one. Well, now that we're within Pacu, let's list the modules to find a suitable one. Here we see different modules here that can do different things for us. But what we really care about is enumerating EBS volumes. So within the category of enum, we'll go ahead and choose the EBS enum volumes snapshots module. And we can simply run this by using the run command and pasting that module. And this command will essentially run against all these different regions within AWS. So we'll go ahead and select Y for yes to continue. Well, unfortunately, there were no volumes found. However, we're able to find a snapshot within this environment. Now imagine if we had to iterate through all the different regions ourselves just to find where the snapshot existed in. This is where automated tools like Pacu come in. Now, since we know we're dealing with EBS snapshots here, Pacu is not the only thing we can use for enumeration. As a matter of fact, Rhino Security Labs has another tool for this. DSnap is another powerful tool for downloading and enumerating EBS snapshots, also created by Rhino Security Labs. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to use DSnap. We can start by enumerating the EBS snapshots that exist within US East 2. So we'll run the command DSnap region US East 2 list, and this essentially lists the snapshot that exists in US East 2. Now that we know the snapshot ID within this environment, we can go ahead and actually download this snapshot so we can explore the data within it. We'll do this by running DSnap again, but not with a list, but a get, and specify the snapshot ID. Now, given the fact that I already have this snapshot downloaded it won't download because it already exists here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the current snapshot. Now let's go ahead and try to download this snapshot again. Now this is a pretty big snapshot, about 8 gigabytes, so it would take a bit of time to download. Now let's wait for it to download before we start exploring the data inside the snapshot. It looks like our snapshot has downloaded. Now that our snapshot has downloaded, let's navigate into the DSnap folder. All we're going to do is mount this image using Docker so we can explore the file system. We'll do this by running the sudo specify the image location, which is in the home directory, our current user, and the snap image. And then we use the make command and docker run. Since we're using sudo, we also need to enter our password here. It looks like the snapshot has been mounted, and now we can explore the file system. Let's do a quick enumeration of the system accounts. Obviously, there are multiple user and service accounts that exist here, but if we scroll the way down, we observe a Thomas sysadmin account. Let's go ahead and enumerate this user's home directory. Within the user's home directory, we find a very interesting folder here. Let's go ahead and enumerate that folder. And within that folder, we also observe a file here stating mykeys.txt. Let's go ahead and see what's within that file. And within this file, we observe an access key secret, as well as a region. These credentials can then be used to laterally move or escalate privileges within the AWS environment. Alright, so we've explored how to enumerate and exploit some compute resources within AWS, whether it's manually or using automated tools like Pacu and DSnap. This is one of the many labs you would go through within CloudBridge Breaching AWS labs. And these Breaching AWS labs prepare you for the CloudBridge Offensive AWS Security Professional certification, which I'll be taking in a couple of days. However, if you want to check out this Breaching AWS lab and the training, be sure to click the link in the description below. A huge thank you to the CloudBridge team for providing me this training. And thank you to you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.